Welcome to Alpha Control. Today, I want to show you why we built this revolutionary productivity app, and all the little ways in which it improves both the impact and the efficiency of the work you do while reducing stress. Let me introduce you to the layout first. This is the tree pane, where all my hierarchies, like folders and labels, can be found. When I click any of the tree elements, it opens the list pane, containing all the nodes connected to the tree element. Upon clicking the specific list item, the detail pane opens up, with all the details of the selected node. All of this should be fairly familiar to Outlook users. Let's look at a couple of other things. This here is called the left side panel, and it allows me to create new emails, tasks, and events. I can also find help videos and articles regarding the app here. And this here is called the right side panel, and it houses several global functions like the schedule pane and the notes board that we will cover a little later in the video. Being experienced project managers, we had originally set out to build a project management app to democratize the knowledge and the powerful techniques of project management to all the managers out there. But soon, we realized that the execution, and hence the related inefficiencies, actually happen at the email management level. Thus, the ambition to fuse the planning and execution layer in a single app was born. While researching the best method to bring it all together, we came across Getting Things Done, or GTD, and found its core philosophy of "your mind is for having ideas, not for storing them," deeply resonated with us, and we were already using several of the techniques described there unknowingly for our own productivity. So we built Alpha Control with a GTD-inspired workflow called Flow that works not only for emails, but also tasks, events, files, and much more. The first step in the GTD process is Capture. The original book described an tray to hold all the incoming mails and memos, etc. In Alpha Control, we have Stuff, which we call Inbox Minus. Unlike my inbox, where I can hold thousands of mails for all eternity, Stuff is a short-term processing station for recently acquired information with automated clearing logic. Anything lives in Stuff for a maximum of 7 days, by default, and after 7 days, it moves to the reference state automatically. Stuff captures all the incoming information for me until I either reply to it, following the 2-minute rule, or process it into actionable and non-actionable states. Let's look at an example to understand how this works. Let's take this mail from Ethan, requesting for a coffee machine to be installed in the customer representative's office. As I click to read it, in the detail pane, the Clarify and Organize pane opens up, and the detail pane slides to the left, hiding the tree pane. The Post-it Notes segment in this pane allows me to note down any thoughts or action that I might have regarding the email as I read it for the first time. In other words, I can clarify my thoughts on the next steps required to move ahead on this email for my own record, so I don't have to keep it in my head. This Post-it note then sticks on this email and goes wherever the email goes. It acts as a checklist where I can check off individual steps as they are completed. I can also see any notes that exist on any other email in the thread, by the way, like this email thread. All my notes get globally aggregated on the notes board and allow navigation back to the node on which the note was taken, and are searchable. Coming back to Ethan's request, I can't do this right now, as I have more important things on my plate. As it is an actionable item, let me defer this by assigning it the next action state. This should not take more than 15 minutes of effort, and it is fairly important for building rapport with the on-site customer representative. This orange bar shows the level of importance assigned to this next action. Left is less important, and right is more important. I can visually verify the effort and importance assigned here on the list item card, along with the newly assigned next action state. If I now go to the next action state list, I will find this email organized there. Alpha Control allows organization of my emails and files into one of 8 states, as shown here, while they are processed, from arrival to archive or deletion. To the uninitiated, this might seem too elaborate, but ask yourself, what is it that you do when you flag an email, or assign it the read or important category, or make a read email unread again, so you automatically recheck it at a later stage? These are all hacks to ensure you get back to a deferred email that you can't act on right now. I have personally used all these hacks when mails flew in too fast to handle. With Alpha Control, I get a dedicated email flow state called Next Actions with effort and importance assigned, so I don't have to resort to hacks and gimmicks. Time blocking is another very popular productivity technique among a lot of folks. I used to create time blocks all the time for important time-consuming work, like updating a presentation, filling out some form, preparing a forecast, etc., and I didn't even know the word. I just called them calendar events. But the problem was that there was no way to connect my time blocks with any email or file that might have triggered it, needing me to go back and find the relevant emails and files when the time block came up on my calendar. Alpha Control solves this by allowing me to directly put any email, file, or task on my calendar. It has a dedicated flow state called Calendar for this, which can be assigned from the Clarify and Organize pane, but it's just way easier to drop it directly in the Schedule pane. Let me show you how it's done. Just navigate to the correct date and time, and click and drag the mail to the desired time. I can set the desired time window through this drop-down. If I drop it to this area, it is treated as an all-day or anytime time block. Now, let's look at another highly useful flow state called the waiting state. A big part of a manager's job is delegating tasks to reportees or requesting information from other people in the organization. This generally reflects in the sent mail folder, but not all sent mail pertains to delegation or request for information. This makes it difficult to keep track of emails where I am waiting for information, especially since I would have to go to the sent folder to flag or label any special sent mails that I want to track. Alpha Control has a dedicated flow state called Waiting for these mails. Here I can not only drop the emails that are waiting information, but the app itself prompts me if I want to track an email in the waiting state while sending it. Let me show you how. Let's draft the mail to Sarah, requesting for a delivery update on the office chairs. Done. Let's send it and confirm. There. The system prompts me if I want to follow up on this email later. Click yes, and done. Let's check if this has landed in waiting. And yes, there it is. There are 4 other states that serve specific purposes in Flow. For example, the project state is used for items that need to be broken down into subscopes. Reference, as the name suggests, holds emails for information only. Trash needs no explanation. And Someday Maybe is used for holding ideas and projects I hope to work on, but am not compelled to. The purpose of these states is to keep my next actions list crisp and precise, so that it is always actionable, and does not contain any fluff that is not actionable. This is critical to prevent procrastination in the face of uncertainty. These 8 states of flow organize emails and files around my own perception of their utility. However, they can also be organized according to the topics they touch upon or projects they belong to. This is known as vertical organization. Alpha Control provides powerful tools for these in the form of keywords and projects. Let's come back to the email from Ethan requesting the coffee machine. Look at these words here. These are keywords that the app thinks this email might connect with, based on basic text analysis. To connect it, all I need to do is to click it. And done. If I see any interesting words in the email that I think should be a keyword, then all I need to do is select the word like this, and click the chip that appears. Done. If all else fails, I can always add the keyword from here by typing it in. These keywords can be found under Keyword Hierarchy in the tree pane. Alpha Control comes preloaded with a rich keyword hierarchy that we have developed over decades of experience managing operations and projects at large Fortune 500 enterprises. Now, I don't need to worry about creating a folder system from scratch and then remembering to file each email in it. Alpha Control prompts me to organize into keywords every time I open an email, reducing my cognitive load. This simple trick has worked wonders for many of our users who used to struggle with filing before. Let's see if our email was connected to the specified keywords. If you already have a structured filing system in place, no need to fret. Your entire folder structure is displayed as a keyword hierarchy and can be found here with all the emails in the last 6 months connected to the relevant keywords. Creating a fresh keyword hierarchy is even simpler. All I need to do is click here and then enter my keywords as an indented list. Next time I open an email related to any of these words, I will be prompted by the app to connect them. Keyword hierarchies make up my personal organization framework, and I create and organize nodes in this framework without any interference from anyone else. There are, however, shared organization structures in each organization and each team. If you are a manager, there is probably a common drive right now with a shared folder structure where you and your team dump important files and mails all the time. In Alpha Control, you can create a shared project with your teammates to manage your project emails, tasks, files, and events. Let me show you how this works. Let's create a simple project on this drive, which is shared between me and my co-founder, and enter all the scopes and subscopes. My co-founder has the same work breakdown structure visible to him on his version of the app. Now we can both start connecting emails and files to it, like this. And the beauty is that any emails that involve both me and my co-founder, like this one, will be organized for both under the same scope, even if only one of us organizes it. The social organization of information for the entire team, and hopefully one day, the entire company, is a massive productivity lever if utilized effectively. This governs the 3 dimensions of organization available in Alpha Control. The next step in the GTD process is reflect. But before we go there, you must be wondering, if this is a true project, where are the timelines? Well, here they are, hidden innocuously under the tree pane. Click to open again. Here I can create a project timeline by simply dragging and dropping. Alpha Control also enables auto-scheduling of scopes based on predecessor-successor logic, where one scope can only occur after another scope has been completed, like this. Not only does the Gantt pane show me Gantt timelines, but also helps visualize my entire information stream, comprised of emails, tasks, events, and files, on this timeline. Imagine all your project conversations related emails, and files, connected the correct project scope, visualized against the project timeline, like this. This layout intuitively tells me which projects have ongoing activity, and which have fallen silent, and are likely to fall behind. If I want to get even more resolution, then I can view all these emails and files in their respective flow states against the Gantt timeline, and now I know which projects are waiting on actions from my side, and which require information or actions from others, and I can expedite the right email threads accordingly. This is project-specific reflection. But how about how my individual productivity has been going through the day? This requires reflection as well, if I am to improve my performance over time. For this we have these stunning and informative flow burn-down dashboards, one each for stuff, next actions, waiting, and projects. Let me take a look at my stuff chart for example. This shows a significant influx of emails into stuff around midday while I was at my desk, doing emails, and moving items out into other states, like next action, etc. This inverted bar shows the number of emails I removed from the stuff state. It represents the metaphorical dent I made in the pile of emails I had today. Finally, I processed a bunch of emails into next actions. The next action chart shows the arrival of items into the next action state at various times of the day. The inverted histogram here represents work done to clear out the next action lists. The same graph is available for waiting and projects states. Leverage this dashboard to track and improve your daily email processing performance and take your workplace productivity into the next orbit. Visualization of time is a powerful cue in driving decisions and execution. Alpha Control helps visualize time in several ways, from Gantt chart and schedule pane to flow burn-down charts. The final step in the GTD process is engaging with work, and here too, Alpha Control comes with a powerful suite of features that help me leverage all the information organization efforts I took by letting me organize my next action list by effort required and by the importance of each next action. This two-dimensional prioritization helps me quickly identify items which will deliver maximum impact for the least amount of effort. On the other hand, if a particular person like my boss, or a particular project, has acquired outsized importance, I can discover next actions from them in an instant, by the simple click of this magical pivot filter button, that generates, for the lack of a better word, an X-ray of my next actions list, revealing which people, keywords, or projects, are they connected to. So I can jump to my priorities directly, based on the identified attribute, like person or project. No more last in first out kind of undifferentiated and unproductive approaches to work. With Alpha Control, I decide what I work on, each moment, not the email client, and my sketchy memory of what I had seen this morning. Productivity is not just about getting things done, it's about getting the right things done. This Unreal Information Discovery paradigm, where I can identify and filter any list by its attributes, again and again, to drill down to the required information in an instant, is enabled by the cutting-edge data management system implemented in Alpha Control, where all my emails, files, tasks, events, projects, keywords, and much more are tied together in a common knowledge graph that stores relational information. So if an email, say like this one, is connected to a bunch of keywords, and people, and projects, I can see all its connections by clicking this button, and then discover all other emails and files connected to said keyword, people, or projects via simple graph navigation. This is a completely novel method of information organization and discovery, and we have just begun scratching the surface with this powerful technology, and already the results have been super impressive. We hope, as you use Alpha Control, and we develop it further for users like you, We will revolutionize how unstructured information, like emails and files, are processed and leveraged by modern organizations led by visionary early adopters like yourself.